Welcome to Bullets and Brass. Today we're starting a series of videos on a new rifle. I went from this being my primary shoot steel, punch holes at 200 yards and general mayhem to a new one that I'm doing, which is a Bergara B14 HMR in 6.5 Creedmoor. Now, really zero justification. Zero justification in terms of the distance I shoot, in terms of needing the reduced drop. Really, it was, I wanted to play around with a 6.5 for a while. I had things about the Savage that I did not particularly like. They're not criticisms of the rifle. They're simply things that I would prefer be done a different way. And I'm going to eventually sell that rifle. But in the meantime, I've got a bunch of ammo to shoot through it and have fun with it. I'm sure I'll get some use. We'll do some videos with it. But the scope is coming off and going on the new rifle. The bipod probably is going on the new rifle. So the new rifle, like I said, Bergara B14 HMR. That is the hunting match rifle, meaning the barrel's a little heavier than their hunting ones, but not a super heavy barrel. It's heavy enough to fire a number of shots without overheating and changing your zero. Mini chassis. I'm not going to run through everything. If you want details on this rifle, plenty of videos out there. What do I like? What are the key elements that made me pick this one over, say, a Savage, a Tikka, a Remington? Number one, magazines. In this case, the Bergaras use the standard AICS single stack magazines. Not revolutionary. A lot of the other companies do. You can modify a lot of the other rifles to do so. This one comes that way. They ship it with their own manufacturer single mag, 5 rounds. I thought these were PMags. Magpul AICS PMags. Turns out they're not. I think they used to. It's very similar design, but it is not a PMag. This is a PMag. You can see the difference. They are different heights. They are different shapes in the front. They have different style lips. They are not the same. I'll be very interested to see how they compare in use. I had this one. I will be buying more of this one. I will not be paying Bergara's premium on their magazines. It's not bad. They're certainly not as bad as Tikka's $100 per magazine price. Other things I liked. Built-in mini chassis. I wanted a traditional looking rifle. I was not looking for the modern chassis systems on RPR or the Savage Stealth. There's a bunch of them. I'm not going to list them all. But I wanted a traditional looking rifle. Yes, this is a kind of modern look, but it's a traditional style. There's a standard monostock. It doesn't look like, some sort of space age thing. I wanted the cutout down here. I do tend to shoot offhand and prone, and I tuck my hand in here. I like that. I like the adjustable. I'm not sure it really affected my purchase decision, because like I said, I'm putting this on here and I can adjust. But I did like the fact that it came with the spacers. I can adjust my length of pull without having to buy anything or fiddle around with it. Other things. Effectively, this is a Remington 700 setup. So things like sight base. I'm not using the one that came with it. Tons of them. A million options. It's a Remington 700. It's just a Remington 700 built their way. Little details. Do I care? Not really on some of that stuff. I'll compare and contrast in the future videos. This will get compared to my Remington 700 and 223. That is my low-cost target punching training building reps tool because 6.5 is not as cheap as 223. Neither is 308. So overall, so far, I'm impressed. I think it is very well made. Everything seems to fit properly. Everything is the way you would expect of a rifle like this. One of the other things that attracted me to this one over some of the other options is the price point. This is basically $1,000. I mean, they're a little under that, but after taxes and everything, they're basically $1,000. Ready to go. I mean, I bought a scope base, but it came with one. No scope, no bipod or anything like that. But the triggers are decent. Came with a magazine system. Comes with an adjustable stock. You don't have to go start buying a new stock. You don't have to put it in a chassis. You don't have to send it out to get tuned. No replacement trigger right away if you don't want to. It lets you start out with a functional rifle without spending twice as much money. It's very standard. It's industry standard across the board. Keeps life simple. We'll see how it goes. I'm very excited. I want to get the scope put on this. I want to get the barrel cleaned out since I haven't had a chance to. Once my stuff gets here, hopefully Midway gets that moving. They're a bit behind due to the COVID situation. We'll get the cheek pad figured out. We'll get the spacers figured out. And we'll do another video of me adjusting it to fit and getting everything fine-tuned. But this was the introduction to it. So thank you for watching. Take care, have fun, stay safe, y'all. And, well, I'd say Corona made me do it. But, yeah, this kind of was on my radar for a couple years now. And it was just time to finally pull the trigger, so to speak. Say hi. Oof.